Welcome. In today's episode, we are going to explore a new way to look at our solar system using Google. Then we're going to take a look at what might be a great location for our future moon base. And we're going to wrap all this up with our first look at what happens when a black hole consumes matter. This is ZakDTV, the place for interesting news from around the net. And let's get right into this. I'd like to start this video with the image of the week, and here it is. This image was captured by the Hubble Space Telescope. This is NGC 2623, or ARP 243. They really need to come up with some better names for this stuff. It's about 250 million light years away, and it's in the constellation of Cancer. This photo is actually an image of two galaxies running into each other, and the bright spot in the middle is where all the gases are mingling and whatnot and creating a huge increase in star production. These are shown by the blue patches that you can see in the center of the galaxy as well as out both those arms. Those two arms that you see are known as tidal tails, and they're about 50,000 light years from tip to tip. This is pretty late in its merging, and it's pretty amazing to think of the amount of destruction and chaos it must cause when two galaxies come together. And just to mention it, we are looking at the same thing when we collide with Andromeda Galaxy. It is going to happen. Scientists believe, however, that our planet, being as such that we're on the end of one of the spiral arms, may survive. Unfortunately, I doubt any of us are going to be alive to see this, but I'd imagine it's a hell of a thing to live through. And now, on to the news. We're going to start with something new in Google Maps. Google, that company that knows everything about everyone everywhere. Well, they are compiling data on the planets around us as well. If you go into Google Maps now and scroll away from the Earth, eventually, you'll reach a point where you get a drop-down menu on the left-hand side. That drop-down will give you 16 places other than Earth to take a look at. They have had the International Space Station on there for a while. I believe they also had Mercury and the Moon there for a bit. But they're now working with NASA and the European Space Agency to bring us all these new planets. They go out as far as Pluto, in fact. They cover a lot of different moons, like if you want to go check out Europa, you could do it here. This is just a great interactive way to explore our solar system, and I wanted to be sure it was something you guys knew about. Make a point of checking it out. Just go to Google Maps and you can see all this for yourself. Now, this probably isn't going to be able to be explored on Google Maps, but it probably will show up there before too long. JAXA recently announced, that's the Japanese Space Agency, that they have found a gigantic cave on the moon. That would be a great spot for our next moon base. They're using data from the Kaguya satellite. They crashed this into the moon back in 2009. And after digging through all that information for nearly a decade, they found this. That is a cave opening nearly 150 feet wide. They figure it goes down more than 150 feet as well into the moon. And after some examination of their data, they believe that this cave system is over 30 miles long. This is a big deal because one of the biggest problems to overcome for a colony on the moon is their exposure to cosmic radiation. And by putting our future moon base inside of a tunnel this deep and long, we would be reducing the amount of radiation that reaches our lunar settlers. Another protection that this would provide would be from meteorites. Because there's very little atmosphere on Mars, these things strike faster than a speeding bullet and can punch a hole through most anything we've devised. So this cave would be a great spot for protection from space. They do believe that this cave is a lava tube from back when the moon had volcanic activity on it. Of course, by now they're inactive, so we wouldn't have too many fears from that. And this could provide a viable shelter for future astronauts. Of course, more exploration is needed, but going forward, we could use this data to plan future missions. And finally, researchers have found an AGN, or this is the black hole in the middle of a galaxy that they believe holds everything together through gravity. AGNs happen when large clouds of dust and gases get sucked into an active black hole. As they rotate around, they increase in friction until they actually end up glowing brighter than, they say, a galaxy full of stars. That has got to be bright. Of course, once these things pass into the black hole, they shut down forever. But occasionally, an AGN will burp, if you will, and blow out a cone-shaped plume of material and radiation. And that is what they're able to image in two separate events. These outbursts happen in galaxy J1354 and 1327. They're about 900 million light years away. The earlier of the two eruptions has left a feathery cone about 30,000 light years long, made up of material and radiation. And how they're able to spot this is because the second event is blowing through that first cone and creating very bright shockwaves. Now, according to Julie Comerford from the University of Colorado, Boulder, she's the head researcher on this project, this event solidifies the way we thought AGN flickering would work. And it does. Basically, this observation backs up what they've seen in computer models. So it actually confirms quite a few theories. And it also gives us an idea of the timeline for these outbursts to happen. It looks like there's approximately 100,000 years between the first and second outburst from this black hole. Now that we've seen this signature as well, we know what to look for, and hopefully we'll be able to find other examples of this activity throughout our universe. And as you can see in this picture, J1354 has a smaller companion galaxy that's connected by a string of stars. They feel that it was probably a collision, like in my first photo, that caused this activity when it thrust new dust and gas into that black hole. And of course, when Andromeda smashes into the Milky Way, maybe we'll get lit up as an AGN again. And with that, I'm going to wrap it up. Which one of these stories did you find most interesting? Personally, I like that we found a possible location for our future moon base. I want to see us colonize the moon. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And if you want more interesting news 5 days a week, go ahead and click that subscribe button. I am here Monday through Friday, so I hope to see you again. And until next time, have fun and be safe.